So it's a beautiful morning out there today. I don't know how many of you got outside and did a little walk or just kind of breathed in some fresh air. So we're taking advantage of all this good weather as we can. So let's come right up to the front edge of the chair. We'll start with some breathing. So as you get situated, see if you can feel your weight in your sitting bones. Are you sitting kind of listing to one side, or can you feel your sitting bones, the weight kind of evenly distributed there? Notice if you're a little forward in your chair. Most of us, when we sit a little unconsciously, we tend to lean forward a bit, so you might want to kind of lean back. So what you want to think about is your head on top of your shoulders and your shoulders right over your hips, right? So that's kind of how we are. So don't worry too much about, getting it exactly right, just kind of in that general area. And then if it's comfortable for you this morning to close your eyes, I'll invite you to do that. Closing your eyes just turns your attention inside, brings the focus into some of your other senses. We are so visually oriented as a species that we sometimes use our vision in place of other things that would work out well: our sense of touch, our sense of hearing, our sense of smell, our sense of taste. So by closing the eyes, we allow those other senses to come online a little bit better. So let's start with that sense of touch, right? So again, with your eyes closed, just notice how your feet are making contact with the floor. Maybe they're inside socks or shoes, maybe you're barefoot, but just notice. You might even wiggle your toes a little bit or kind of place your feet a little differently if that feels okay. Just observe the sense of contact, that felt sense of contact between your feet and the floor. And then direct your awareness up a little bit to your sitting bones. We did that at the very beginning, how the sitting bones are oriented on the chair. Are you on the forward edge or the backward edge? Are you listing more to the right or to the left? Maybe the chair itself has a different sense of texture to it, or a sense of firmness to it. And then notice where your hands are. Are they resting on your lap? Are they tucked one inside the other? Are your fingers clasped? Are they apart? Are the palms up? Are the palms down? And notice anything else that you can feel in your body right now. It might be something like pain or discomfort in your neck or shoulders or some other place, or it might be a sense of ease in your body. Notice if your jaw is clenched or loose. If your eyes are kind of squinty, or if you're able to relax your eyes. So there's all these things that you can take note of. And then shift to your sense of hearing. So moving away from the sense of touch, go to your hearing and notice what you hear outside your home right now. So can you hear noises, traffic noises, or people, or nature? Maybe somebody's doing some work in the area and you can hear tools or equipment. Maybe there's an airplane or some other vehicle. Just noticing the sounds outside, and then draw your attention to the sounds inside your home. Notice if there are other people in the home, if they're making some noise, doing what they're doing this morning. And all homes have noises to them that are just kind of inherent in the dwelling itself. So notice if your home has those familiar noises. And notice your own body. Maybe there's a sound to your breath as you're breathing in and out. Maybe you can hear your belly working to digest your breakfast. And then notice if there is a sense of taste in your mouth. So maybe your coffee or tea this morning, your breakfast, or your toothpaste if you've brushed your teeth recently. So notice whatever taste is present in your mouth. And then notice any smells in your house this morning. Again, those that are familiar, your coffee, your tea, your breakfast. And sometimes because we're so familiar with our homes, we don't notice that every home has its own unique smell profile. So it just kind of smells like home to me because this is where I live. And notice now how you're able to tune in to that sense of touch, of sound, of taste, of smell, all at the same time. Even your sense of vision, although your eyes are closed, you might be seeing images of thoughts. You might just be seeing shades of light behind your eyelids. So you're able to feel and experience all of these senses at the same time. And it's by this experience of witnessing that we can shift our attention into the breath. So as you breathe in, see if you can send the breath all the way down into your belly. And as you breathe out, see if you can pull breath right up from your belly, all the way out through your nostrils. It's really important to breathe in and out through the nose. If you're having any issues breathing, trying to get a full breath in, it's okay to breathe out through your mouth, breathing out like you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips. But you want to practice breathing in through the nose. And this can be more challenging for those of us who have little congestion, maybe a cold or allergies. It's important for the conditioning of the lungs to breathe in through the nose because the nose filters the air, it warms it, and it delivers it at just the right pace. Breathing in through the mouth, you're kind of breathing in whatever temperature air is there. There's no filtering going on, and it's very drying. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose if possible, otherwise breathing in through the nose and out through pursed lips. As you continue this breathing, we're going to add a little bit of a count to the breath, so that will lengthen it a bit. So as you inhale, see if you can count slowly to 4 in your head. And as you exhale, same thing, slowly count to 4 in your head. So breathing into a slow count of 4 and breathing out to a slow count of 4. And it may take several rounds to get that count and the breathing kind of synced up. So let's continue to do this for a couple more minutes. Breathing in to a slow count of 4 and out to a slow count of 4. And as you're doing this breathing and counting, relaxing the body. And after your next exhalation and that slow count of 4, you can release the counting, release the control of your breath, and simply allow your breathing to resume its normal pace, its normal rhythm. And just notice if you have a different sense of being in your body right now. Maybe your sense of touch has changed, or that visual behind your eyelids. Maybe your hearing or your taste or the sense of smell has changed a little bit. Maybe one is more dominant than the other. And then let's allow the eyes to open slowly. And then take your hands from your lap and raise your arms up overhead. Reach and lengthen through your body, right side and left side. And then let's come forward with the arms. So stretch one arm forward and kind of twist the upper body, and then stretch the other arm forward and twist. And we'll go back and forth a couple of times. So feel that twisting in your spine, in your back, in your waist, in your ribs. Excellent. And then coming back to kind of a neutral position in your chair. Take your hands and let's start to squeeze and extend the fingers. So just squeezing and extending, we get to pay attention to what's happening in the hands this morning. So how do they feel? How does it feel to do this? How do your hands feel while you're doing these movements, right? So just things to check in. And then we'll extend the arms and bring the fingers up and then down and up and down. And keep your hands lower than your shoulders and keep your elbows straight if you can. And breathe in and breathe out. And then let's start to circle around at the wrists. Good, and reverse the direction of those circles. Keep breathing in and out through the nose if you can, and then extend your arms out in front, and then we're just going to tap the shoulders, bending and extending the elbows. Good, nice and easy, nice easy little wake up for the elbows there this morning. Okay, tap the shoulders and hold. And then let's extend the right one, keep the left one bent, and then we're going to switch. So we're just tapping one and then the other. So doing something just a little bit different here. It's good to mix things up for the brain, get the connection between what's happening in the body and the brain in a little different rhythm here. So just a couple more. Breathe in, breathe out. Great, and then let's bring both hands to the shoulders, and we're going to kayak the arms. So keeping the fingers touching the shoulders, rather, we're just taking and gently circling, rotating the elbows. Listen for sound in the shoulders, right? So how many of you are having some shoulder noise? I've got a little bit of noise going on here. Pretty normal for shoulders to have some noise, as long as there's no pain. And at some point, we're going to reverse. So we're going to kayak backwards. Or if you were kayaking backwards, now you're kayaking forwards. So whatever works for you. Just getting some mobility here in these joints this morning. Okay, and then let's relax the arms down. We're going to take the right arm out to the side. Reach out through the heel of the hand. Sit up nice and tall, breathing in, breathing out. We're simply going to bend that elbow, make a little swan neck, and then extend. And bend and extend. So we're doing that little swan neck movement, right? And coming back in. Excellent. Couple more. Great. And then bring that hand back to the lap. Let's do the same thing on that left side. So extend, extend, and then little swan neck in and bend and extend. So now we got wrist and shoulder and elbow and fingers all kind of working together, right? So a couple more of these. Notice if it feels different on this side. I have a little more mobility on one side than the other. pretty normal for most of us to have that. And maybe you don't notice it, or maybe you do. Okay, and the next time that we extend, we're just gonna take that arm, bring it right back to the lap. Let's go over to the right side again. We're gonna extend the arm, take the thumb and the first finger together. We're gonna go all the way up overhead. We're gonna bend the elbow and see if you can bring your fingers down, make like a little spyglass around your right eye. Good, and then let's extend and go all the way up and come all the way down by the side. We're gonna do this a few times. Now breathe as you do this, bringing the arm up, thumb and first finger together. You gotta turn the palm of the hand toward your face and then see if you can make like a little spyglass there. So it should feel like a little bit of a challenge for that elbow, for the wrist, maybe for the shoulder, perhaps, for the fingers even. Might be tough to get your thumb and first finger in a circle right around that eye. So maybe you're actually just looking at the palm of your hand as you're doing this. Now, again, this is challenging all the joints in the arm from the fingers all the way up, right? So we're going right up to the shoulder. This is a little bit more of a challenge on my shoulder than the other one that we did. Let's do this just one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. So don't forget that part, most important. And come all the way up and all the way down. Great, let's go the other side. So same thing, extend the arm up, first finger and thumb together, make a little spyglass, up and down. And again, I'm noticing right away a big difference between the first side and the second side here. I have more mobility on this side than I did on the other side. And that's just always very interesting to notice. Right. So I notice that when I am doing a task, it has to orient exactly the same way for me to be comfortable with it. Otherwise, my brain doesn't quite understand how to do this. So just one more time as you breathe in and breathe out. Great. Okay, now let's let the arms rest a little bit. We're going to shift gears right into the feet. So extend that right leg. So you need to be way up near the front edge of your chair. Have your heel on the floor. We're going to squeeze and extend the toes. Squeezing and extending the toes. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's tap heel and toes. Tapping heel and toes. Good. Watch your posture, sit up nice and tall. Try not to get down there with your foot. And then we'll start to circle at the ankle. So these are the same movements we did in the upper body, right? In the hand and the arm, and reverse direction. Okay, and then let's bring the heel to the floor. Take your hands to the chair right alongside your hips. This just reminds you to sit up nice and tall, reminds you not to lean forward, not to lean back, and we're just gonna bend and extend that right knee. So we're bringing the foot under the chair, or as close to under the chair as we can go here. And then we're extending. And again, you might feel some clicking or hear some noise or something in there. That's generally okay as long as you don't have pain accompanying that noise. Great. And then let's bring the foot right back down to the floor, still with the hands on the chair. We're going to lift that leg up and circle around. And breathe in and breathe out. So just some really easy, gentle warm-up circles here. Reverse direction. Good. And then bring that foot back down to the floor. Switch sides, go right onto that left side, heel on the floor, toes first. So we're squeezing and then extending the toes. Squeezing and extending the toes and breathing in and breathing out. So that should always be a smooth process. Not a lot of effort here to make these breaths in and out. And then we'll start to point and flex the foot. So pointing and flexing. And again, watching the posture, making sure we're not kind of slumping down in the chair a little bit here. And then circle around at the ankle. Great, and reverse the direction. Excellent. We're going to bring that heel to the floor. Hands come right to the chair, right alongside you. Sit up nice and tall, not leaning back, not leaning forward, just up nice and straight. And we're just going to bend and extend that knee. So again, just notice, do you hear noise in there? Is there a little bit of clicking or clunking or snapping? So knees can tend to be a little bit noisy too. Everything can be a little noisy now that I say that, right? Our joints can just be a little noisy. So a couple more. Excellent. And then let's bring that foot right back down to the floor, and we're going to circle around. So going up and around, breathing in and breathing out. And reverse direction. Excellent, and bring that foot back down to the floor. Great. So we've warmed up the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders. So we've got a little bit of warm up going there. And now we're going to get right into the spine. So if you bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips, just a tad wider than your hips, and have your feet planted firmly on the floor. So look down, make sure all parts of your feet are on the floor. In other words, you don't want to be kind of on your toes or on your heel. So thinking about your spine actually starts up in your head, right? So the very top of your spine actually comes up into the back of your head a little bit here. So we want to work the spine all the way down to the tailbone, which is, your tailbone is right above the crevice of your buttocks. So we're going to work the whole spine there. So I just want you to visualize this beautiful kind of undulating spine. Your spine is not straight. Your spine has these beautiful natural curves in it. And so these movements are designed to help maintain those curves, to facilitate our ability to feel our bodies with those curves. So let's first start by taking the chin right down to the chest. So if you just drop the chin to the chest, plug into your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Feel the muscles in your upper back relax, your shoulders, your neck. Breathing in and out through the nose. And now let's continue as you bring your nose down toward your navel. So now we're kind of bending forward a little bit more. So bringing the nose down toward the navel. And again, holding here, relaxing the upper back, the neck, the shoulders. Breathing in and breathing out. And continue down like you're trying to bring your forehead down to the floor. And you can rest some weight on your arms if that feels comfortable. So we're just coming forward a little bit more. Breathing in, breathing out. And then placing your hands on your thighs, slowly press yourself up. So we're unwinding from the tailbone all the way up to the head. As you come up, bring your shoulder blades together and lift your chin slightly. Breathe in, breathe out. And then we're going to do that whole movement. So chin to chest, nose to navel, breathing in and breathing out, forehead to the floor. And then unwinding up, drawing the chest forward as you pull the shoulders together, drawing the chin forward slightly. Let's do this a couple more times. So this is flexion and extension of the spine. So we're just kind of rounding forward, using the hands to support us. Breathing in and breathing out. It's a nice gentle movement. As we come up, we want to press the chest forward and pull the shoulder blades back. So just two more of these as we round forward, inhaling and exhaling. And last one. So curling forward like a shrimp. I think of the back looking kind of like a shrimp in that little curled position. And then coming all the way up. And coming back to a neutral spine. So again, just thinking about the movement in the spine, it's opening up all the joints. Every vertebrae where it connects to another vertebrae, there's a little disc in there that acts as a cushion, but these are all joints. So you have a series of joints in your spine from the back of your head all the way down to your buttocks. You've got this series of joints that quite often we don't use in a way that facilitates really good health. So if the joints are a little bit stiff or stuck, the blood vessels and the nerves that come out through those joints that feed our body from our brain those can get pinched or they can get eroded a little bit. And we just don't have the kind of movement that we should have. And yogis say that the spine is the fountain of youth. So it's really important to do things to maintain a nice, strong, supple spine. So bring your feet a little bit closer together. Okay. And then we're just going to do some side bending. So this is another thing we don't do a lot of I would say in our day-to-day lives. So take your right ear toward your right shoulder. As you take your right ear to your right shoulder, what we're doing is we're stretching this left side of the neck, right? So maybe I'm feeling just a little bit, maybe I'm feeling it a lot. And then see if you can bring your shoulder toward your hip, right? So now we're getting a little bit more of a stretch through the side of the body. So we've got the ear on the shoulder and the shoulder going toward the hip. And keep your left sitting bone on the chair. Don't let it come up. And then we're going to come all the way up from that and go right over to that left side. So ear to shoulder and then shoulder to hip, breathing in, breathing out. Nice. And then we'll come all the way up. Same thing on the other side. So we're just going to go back and forth a few times. So think about this nice, gentle movement. Coming up and over. Great. And one more time on each side. So we'll bring the ear to the shoulder and the shoulder toward the hip and up. And then the ear toward the other shoulder and the shoulder toward the hip. And then up. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to continue with a little bit more side bending. So if you take your arms out to the sides and all the way up overhead, can you bring your palms together? If you can't bring your palms together overhead, bring your hands down a little bit. That's okay. So you want to stretch as best you can. And now I want you to lean to the right side, but don't lift your left sitting bone off the chair. So we're bending to the side with the arms up overhead. And then we're coming up and we're going into the other side. So this is a half moon posture in yoga. So we're just gently going from side to side. Again, if this is too much with the arms up overhead, you can always bring your hands together a little bit closer to your chest. That works too. If you're having difficulty breathing or you feel like your heartbeat is getting a little bit fast, you can bring your hands down. So let's just do one more time on each side. And breathing in and breathing out. So no holding the breath here at all. Great. And all the way up, let's let the hands kind of come down to the lap. Close your eyes for a moment. Take some breaths in and out and feel what's happening in your body right now. So that was a lot of work for the upper body, the sides of the body. Let's take a deep breath in together, let it out with a sigh. And let your eyes open. So again, stretching the side of the body, super important for the spine, but also really important for breathing, right? So when I stretch to one side, I'm actually opening up through the rib cage here and I'm creating a little bit more space for my lungs to expand on that side of the body. So we're going to work toward a little bit of a twist now. So we did some forward bending, some backward bending. We did some side to side bending. And now what we're going to do is take the left hand, place it on the right knee. Take your right hand, bring it to the chair behind you. And then let's just really gently twist all the way out to that right side. See if you can turn and look out over your right shoulder. Don't let your sitting bones slide on the chair. So this movement is coming from the spine. It's from the hips up, not the hips included. And then unwind, coming back to center. We're going to take that right hand, place it on the left thigh. And then same thing, we're just going to twist out to that left side. Breathing in, breathing out. That's the only thing you have to do. That's the only thing that's mandatory. And then we'll unwind, coming back again. Let's go over to that other side. So we're twisting to the right. Nice deep breath in and out. And then we'll twist over to the left side again. Nice deep breath in and out. And then we're going to come all the way back to center. Excellent. So scoot your body over to the right side of your chair. So your right hip is kind of hanging off the edge of the chair just a little bit here. We're going to use the heel and the toes, and we're going to walk that right foot out, and then let's walk it back. So we're just going to do this walking out and walking back a few times, just to warm up the hip in this fashion. Okay, and the next time that you walk your foot out to the side, let's hold it there. So we're going to hold that foot right out there. Now the tendency is going to be for the body to move in that same direction, but see if you can keep your body oriented toward your left knee. Okay, so we're right here. Your right foot or your right knee should be bent so that your foot is kind of directly underneath your knee. In other words, you don't want it way out here and you don't want it way in here. You want to have it kind of underneath your knee. So breathing in and breathing out. All right. Let's take the right elbow and forearm, and we're going to place it down on the leg. And as you do, keep this right side of your body lengthened. So in other words, I'll show you what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to just kind of lean over to the side like this. That lets go of all of the engagement here in my core. So instead, I want to really engage my core, get long in the spine, and then come over, but keep that engagement in the core of your body. Turn the palm of your right hand up toward the ceiling. So you've got weight in this arm. So you want to be leaning right into that arm. So your shoulder's working, side of your waist is working. And we're going to take the left hand and place it up on the shoulder. Lift your left elbow up as high as it'll go. Right? Breathe in, breathe out. So we got a little stretch through this side of the body. We're doing a little bit more twisting now. And this is a complex movement because we're also side bending. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that elbow back as far as it will go. Rotate the elbow back so you're opening through the shoulder, breathing in, and then as you breathe out, long, slow breath out, you're going to come forward and tap your elbow right down toward the palm of your hand. Now, it might not get there, and that's okay. So as you inhale, you're going to lift, and as you exhale, you're going to roll that forward. So coming down toward the palm of the hand, you might touch the elbow on the palm, or you might just be in that general direction. Whatever works for your body is what is right for you this morning. Just make sure you're breathing smoothly and evenly. And there's no pain in this movement. So if there's pain in this movement, you can come out of the twisting, you can stop the twisting, or you can come up out of the side bend. So just a couple more. And we're going to finish with that elbow lifted behind. Lift, lift, lift. And then see if you can take your hand off your shoulder, reach up toward the sky, get as long and tall as you can. And then take that hand and place it down on your left knee. Now, instead of just coming up from that side bending, I'm going to ask you to kind of roll your body forward, go right into that left side, and then push yourself back up. Great, let's extend that right leg. Have your heel on the floor. Toes are reaching up toward the ceiling. Okay, take your left hand to the chair, right on the side of the chair. And then inhale as you take your right arm all the way up. And exhale as you bend your left elbow and lean into that left side. Breathe in and out. And again, we're just going to come all the way up and over to the side. Good, nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. Now keep that right knee straight. So the muscles in the right leg are really working here. The heel is on the floor, toes are reaching up toward the ceiling. Just a couple more of these. Good. And last one. Beautiful. And then all the way up. Great. Okay, relax that right leg. We're going to bend the knee, use the heel and the toes. Walk your foot back. And as you walk your foot back, we're going to scoot all the way over to the other side. So we're going right over into that left side, you guys. And then we're going to take that left foot and walk it out and walk it back. Now, if you keep both hands on your right thigh, That's going to remind you to keep your body oriented in that forward position, not to let your body drift out to the side. And that's pretty normal that we would do that we would let the body drift out to the side when we open the hip on that side. And now the next time that you walk your foot all the way out, I'm going to ask you to hold it here. Okay, and once again, just checking in with your physical, with your upper body orientation, that it's forward, and then watching that your foot, your left foot, is underneath your knee. So in other words, you don't want it way out here, you don't want it way in here, you want to have it right about underneath your knee. Now engage your core, so you're lengthening through your body, you're sitting up as tall as you can, bend your left elbow and place that elbow or forearm on that thigh. Turn the palm of your left hand up. So same thing on this side that we did last time. So you can see I'm really engaged through my core here. This would be not engaged. So I really want to stay engaged through the core. Take your right hand up to your shoulder and then lift your right elbow up toward the sky. Beautiful. And then we're just going to roll that elbow forward, the shoulder forward rather, like you could touch the elbow to the palm, and then all the way up. So breathe in and breathe out. This is the whole movement. Keep engaged in that side of your body. Well, in both sides of your body, right? So you have to keep that engagement in both sides of your body. We don't want to collapse the rib cage toward the thigh. We want to keep that rib cage kind of lifted as best we can, even as we're rotating. So just a couple more of these, you guys. Coming forward and up. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. And the next time that you extend that elbow back behind, let's hold here. Inhale, exhale. Take your hand off your shoulder, reach your arm straight up toward the ceiling. Reach, 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 get nice and tall and lengthened. And then take that hand down to your right knee. Now, instead of just lifting yourself up, we're going to roll forward toward that right knee, kind of round it out, and then come all the way up that way. Extend your left leg, heel on the floor, toes are raised. Good. Take your right hand to the chair. And then as you breathe in, sweep your left arm up. And as you breathe out, you're going to bend your right elbow and lean into that right side. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, arm down. So this is the whole movement. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And just a couple more of these. And last time, we're going to lean to that side. Let's see if we can hold here for a breath. And come all the way up. That's great. Okay, relax that leg, bend the knee, use the heel and the toes, and we're gently going to walk that foot back. As you do now, scoot your backside to the center of your chair. So you're back at the center of your chair where we were before. Okay, let's take the right leg. We're going to cross the right knee on top of the left knee. And look down, make sure your left foot is underneath the knee. So you've got your knee lined up on top of your knee and then right down to your foot. Now, if you can't cross your knees, that's okay. You're going to cross at the ankles. And we're going to squeeze the inner thighs together. So if you're crossing your knee on top of your knee, what's going to happen is the outside edge of this right foot is going to move toward the outside edge of the left leg. Press into your sitting bones and lengthen through your spine so you're sitting up nice and tall. Take your arms out to the sides. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's see if we can cross the arms in front. Wrap your hands around you. Reach toward your shoulder blades back there. Breathe in and breathe out. So we're squeezing those inner thighs together. We're engaging the buttocks. We're engaging the muscles in the spine. We've got the arms wrapped as far around as they'll go. Breathing in and breathing out. Great, and then we're just going to release the arms. Let's uncross the legs, and we're going to cross the other way. So now we have the left knee on top of the right knee. And once again, we're lining up the knees and we've got the foot directly underneath the knee. If you're crossing at the ankle, that's absolutely fine. We're going to be squeezing those inner thighs together. I'll demonstrate the ankle version on this side. So squeeze the inner thighs together, press into the sitting bones, lengthen through the spine. As you next inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. Breathe in, breathe out, get nice and long through the arms. So imagine you could touch the wall on either side of the room, right? So your arms are so long, you could touch the wall on either side of the room. And with your next exhalation, you're going to cross the arms in front, this time left on top of right. So it's the opposite of last time. And then once again, reaching around behind you, kind of squeezing a little bit more if you can to get those fingers toward the shoulder blades, squeezing those inner thighs together, lifting and lengthening through the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then let's release the arms. And we're going to uncross the legs and bring the feet back down to the floor. Okay, so now let's take the right ankle and we're going to cross it on top of the left knee. Now you might need to walk your left foot out a little bit. Again, you want to have your knee and your ankle kind of lined up. If this doesn't work for you because of your hip or your knee or whatever there, you're just going to cross the ankle on top of the ankle. So sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do that same arms wide thing that we did before, right? So breathe in and breathe out with your arms nice and wide. And then we're going to take the arms in front, crossing the right on top of the left. See if you can get your elbows one on top of the other. And now see if you can bend your arms and see if you can grab your right wrist with your left hand. Now, some might be way out here, and that's okay. Some might be able to do that here. So breathe in and breathe out, and hopefully what you're feeling is a little bit of a stretch in the upper part of your back. Again, if your hands don't quite come together, that's okay. So we're just going to do a really gentle breath here. Make sure you're not leaning to one side. Make sure your spine hasn't started to collapse forward, in this position. So we want to stay upright, breathing in, breathing out. And then you're going to release your arms. Great, you're going to lean back a little bit, uncross that leg, bring your foot to the floor. Let's go right to the other side. So left ankle on top of right knee. Again, for those who are not crossing the ankle on top of the knee, I will demonstrate on this side. So we're going to keep the ankle on top of the ankle. And we're going to bring those arms out to the sides, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Take the arms in front, once again, crossing the left elbow now on top of the right. So it's a little bit different. And then see if you can bend your elbows and maybe grab hold of your left wrist with your right fingers. Maybe you can get up to your thumb. So whatever you can get, or maybe they just don't even come close enough that you can grasp. You just kind of hold in this position, and that's okay. So all we're doing here is trying to stretch the muscles in the back of the body, between the shoulder blades, around the shoulder joints. So we're just trying to get a little bit more mobility in those parts of the body that often get a little bit stuck, can feel a little bit cranky. One more breath in and out. And then you can release your arms. Great. Okay, let's lean back. We're going to uncross that leg. Bring your foot to the floor. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment. Let's take a breath in and out. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice what you feel in your feet, in your legs, your knees, your hips. Notice your hands, your arms, your elbows, your shoulders. And then let's take a breath in together. We'll let it out with a sigh. Letting your eyes gently open. Great. Let's take both legs. We're going to extend them out in front. So you need to be close to the front edge of your chair, enough that you don't feel like you're getting kind of cut off in the backs of your thighs there. A good sign that you're not sitting far enough forward is if you try to extend your legs and you can't because your knees stay a little bit bent. It's because you're sitting back a little bit too far. There's pressure on those hamstring muscles. So if you scoot forward, you can feel that you can get a little bit longer here. Okay, so lift your toes strongly toward your shins. And as you lift your toes strongly toward your shins, press into your sitting bones. Pull your belly muscles in a little bit. Squeeze the muscles here in the top part of your thighs, so right above your knees. Those are your quadriceps muscles. You want to really have those active and strong. With your next breath in, sweep your arms forward and all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your arms down to just about shoulder height. Turn your palms toward me. And then breathing in, you're going to pull back. Breathing out, we're going to push forward and come all the way up overhead with the arms. Breathing in, we're going to bring the arms down and pull back. So that's the movement in the upper part of the body. See if you can do this without bringing your shoulder tops way up toward your ears, right? So keeping the shoulder tops nice and low. Breathing in and breathing out. It's a nice smooth movement. Now, did you lose the engagement of your leg muscles? Are your feet, your toes still reaching toward your shins? So your legs are nice and strong. Your breath is smooth and even as we're doing this. I'm going to do just a couple more of these. And as you pull your elbows back, right, on this position here, pull the elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And as you come up, push up through the heels of your hands. So the more effort you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. So just 2 more times. Last one. And relax the arms, relax your legs, bend your knees, bring your feet back to the floor. So let's take a breath in and out. Notice your body, notice your arms and your shoulders. Notice your legs. Okay. So still sitting up really close to the front of your chair, take your right foot, slide it back as far back as it'll go. Come up on your toes a little bit. So for most of us, we're going to get a little bit of a stretch somewhere here in this right leg. So it can be from the hip all the way down to the ankle. For people with a hip issue, you might be feeling it more up in the hip. For people with a knee issue, you might be feeling it more around the knee. The connective tissue in your body works from your hip all the way to your toes. It actually works from your head to your toes, but for this particular application, for this particular movement, I just want you to think of one continuous kind of line of tissue that runs all the way from your hip all the way to your foot. Now push your heel down toward the floor as strongly as you can, and then come right up on your toes. And then push your heel down toward the floor, come up on your toes. Let's breathe as we're doing this, inhaling, exhaling, pushing the heel down and lifting up. Breathing in, breathing out. Just a couple more. Okay, and then kind of relax that a little bit. So let's see where your foot is now. Is it as far back as it'll go? So maybe you could get it a little farther back. And now what we're going to do, I don't know if you can really see my foot. What we're going to do is we're going to come up on the toes, come over the top of the toes, and then press the top of the foot toward the floor. Ooh, that's a good stretch for the top of the foot, the front of the ankle, and then we're going to go back and around, right? So I'm going to turn sideways just in case you can't see what I'm doing here. So I'm coming up on the toes, And then we're going to go right onto the front part of the toes and the foot, and then up, and heel comes toward the floor. So this is taking it up on the tippy toes and then over to the top and back and down. Now you can bring your foot much farther back if you'd like. That has a different feel to it as well. Now you might notice as you're doing this, so let me just say this. I'm going to turn forward so we can all be facing each other. Sometimes what happens is there's so much sensation here, I start to do this. So can you see how I'm listing over to that left side? See if you can keep your weight even through your sitting bones. Great. One more time, you guys. Excellent. And then let's release that. Let's bring that foot back. Notice any difference between that right side and left side. Okay, and then we're going to take this left leg, do the same thing, slide back so you're on the kind of the top part of the toes there. I'm going to scoot over to the side of my chair so I can get my foot back. Actually, I'll do it this way so you all can see. So here we are. I'm just coming forward now. I might be feeling it in the hip, might be feeling it in the knee, the leg, anywhere in there. So it really depends. There's no right or wrong here. We're going to push the heel toward the floor and then come up on the toes. And push the heel toward the floor and come up on the toes. So a couple more, just kind of warming this up, getting that sense of stretch. Great. Okay, so next time we come up, we're going to come up over the top of the toes and right onto the front part of the foot. Ooh, and up and back. So there are not too many movements that we do in our daily lives where we get a good stretch for the front of the ankle and the top of the foot. That's when your foot is in this position, right? That's usually, we're doing that accidentally, and that can be rather painful. So this is a way to stretch all that tissue in there that needs a little bit of stretch. It helps to free up space in the ankle joint and the toes. Just one more time, up and over. Beautiful. And then all the way back, and then you can kind of lean back and bring that leg out as well. So bring the feet back together. Take a moment here now, just feel your feet and your toes, your legs, your knees, your ankles, all those good things. And then you can sit comfortably in your chair, whatever that means for you, either staying where you are or leaning back or sitting back a little bit more into your chair. Close your eyes. And let's shift back into awareness of the breath, awareness of how the air is moving in and out of your body. Each inhalation and exhalation, moving smoothly, evenly, slowly. Breathing in and out through the nose, or breathing in through the nose and out through pursed lips. If you're someone who doesn't often breathe in and out through your nose, if you tend to breathe through your mouth a lot, breathing through your nose can have a profound positive effect on your overall health. It can help with everything from snoring to digestion. So breathing in and out through the nose, or at least breathing in through the nose, is super important for your overall health. It keeps your throat healthy, keeps your lungs healthy. It also stimulates your nervous system so that you're in a more naturally relaxed state. So something as simple as shifting the breathing into the nose from the mouth can make you a less stressed person. make you feel more relaxed, ready to accept whatever challenges the day might hold. Watch the air as it moves in and out of your body. As you're watching your body breathe, see if you can consciously relax your neck and shoulders, your arms and hands. Relax your back and your belly, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your legs, your feet. Relax your jaw, the muscles around your eyes. Feel your whole body relaxed. Take your hands up to your heart. Let's take a deep breath in together and we'll let it out with a sigh. And take a moment, bring your hands together if that feels right for you, to just come into an expression of gratitude to yourself for your light, your wisdom, your compassion, and eternal beauty. And then if you'd like, you can just kind of open your eyes. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.